Hello there, and thanks for joining us. My name is Steve Swientozielskyj. I'm the CIMA President, and I'd like to introduce you to Adam Luk, who works for Level 39. And just for a change, I'm going to be asking the questions, and Adam's going to be answering. So that's a great one for me. Welcome, Adam.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Okay, well, the first question I just want to tee you up with is what made you decide to take the CIMA Professional Qualification?
I wanted to get a bit more exposure in terms of commercial, the commercial side of business. So working in data, the next step up was to look at holistically how businesses work, and I was advised by other professionals that CIMA was the best place to go for more commercial awareness.
Wow, that's fantastic. So when you took your exams, and you're a newer member, how did you prepare for the exams, and what resources did you find helpful?
Luckily, I found a graduate scheme which fully funded my study. So I went for BPP, and at that stage I didn't know, what was best study for me. So I took the whole package. So that included the books back then, the taught classes, and this is talking a good 10-15 years ago, but online courses and video courses was just come into play. So that I found that very helpful.
Okay, so how long did it take you to complete your qualification? And are there any interesting points you want to share with our Facebook members about your pain or your gains you got through that?
Absolutely. So this brings me back now. I mean, you remember both the good sides and the ups and downs, and you take me back to the days, Steve. What I can say is that having a team that supports you, it's very important. A management team that understands what the CIMA qualification means, a good work-life balance. And I think what I didn't like at the time was there was 3 of us doing it, and there was a bit of friendly competition. But now in hindsight, looking at having that bit of friendly competition gives you a competitive edge to give that percentage a bit more.
Right, so you're a bit of a competitor, have you, by nature?
I think to be successful, you've got to have that competitive streak in you.
All right, great. I'd just like to do a bit of a deep dive on the exams, because you took the exams. How did they compare to what your expectations were with your degree you took?
I think as you go through the UK education system, you're taught to learn and then take an exam. So it's all technical side. So up to the papers of operational managerial, most of it's heavily technical. So you could read the textbook and then apply it. However, when you get to strategic, this was where I found the most challenging, where you have to think about how to apply that knowledge in terms of your business skills, what you do in a business role. You have to apply the technical to what you're learning in the business. So in terms of expectation, the strategic and the T4, the top CIMA back in my day, I think that challenged me the most and made me think a lot more.
Right. Okay, so you may have answered this, but one of the questions I wanted to ask you, and you can perhaps do a deeper dive, is, if you look at the whole process, what was the biggest challenge you faced, Adam?
I think the biggest challenge I faced was actually staying on course, and it's when I look back now, you have your ups and your downs, and it's where you're at your downs, it's where it's the most challenging, where not everybody goes past CIMA and passes first time with the highest mark, and the reality is that you will fail, but it's learning how to come back from that failure and come back stronger is what I think is a fundamental skill of the future accountant.
That's a great answer. So now you qualified. How's that affected your career to date?
It's been a fantastic journey so far. I've qualified in a large incumbent company, blue chip, and the CIMA qualification allowed me to go through more doors. So after that, I went to work for a startup. That the sell was here's a clean slate, use your skills, what can you do with it? And that allowed me to test my skills fully and their qualification, put me on the map to enable me to go for this role, to grow the business, and what value you can give into is how the business grows.
Yeah. So, and what does the CIMA designation and qualification mean to you?
It gives you a sense of purpose, a belonging, and a community that which you can fall back on. In one word, if I was to describe it, it gives you global credibility.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, we've got quite a lot of members looking in onto this Facebook. Is any pieces of advice you'd like to share?
Absolutely, Steve. I think as the business world and the future of finance is changing, there's 3 C's I would like to propose, and this is something that I work closely with. It's building your community, building your connectivity, and building your collaboration. So with those in mind, it's looking at what networks you can build, what mentors you can have. I mean, at the beginning, you asked me what challenges I faced. If I knew what the path was ahead, that makes it a lot easier. So I had a mentor in my manager who was a CIMA, qualified CIMA member as well. So that helped me. My peers also helped me. That's my connectivity. And collaboration, I think now with social media and what we're doing here allows for more connectivity. So reach out to other finance professionals and collaborate. I think together we can achieve a lot more than on your own.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we're going to close and wrap it up now. Hopefully you come to the CIMA Centenary AGM. Maybe you can make it. That'd be fantastic. You've got an invite on Facebook Live, so we expect you there now. I think we'll close this down. Thanks for coming, Adam. Your answers were brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Thank you.
Cheers.